45 Taiwanese foods we can't live without. From mountains of flavor-shaped ice to chicken cutlets as big as your face, Taiwanese eating always comes with superlatives. Small eats, and a lot of them, are the big thing in Taiwan. The culinary philosophy here is eat often and eat well. Sure, there is the internationally accepted 3 meals a day dining format. But why be so limited when you can make like the Taiwanese and indulge in gourmet snacking at any time of the day? The Taiwanese capital, Taipei, has around 20 streets dedicated to snacking. Every time you think you found the best street-side bao, the most incredible stinky tofu, or mind-boggling beef noodle soup, there's always another Taiwanese food shop that surpasses it. The island's food is a mashup of the cuisine of the Minnan, Taichou, and Cooking Chinese communities, along with Japanese cooking. It's a culinary love-in with diversely delicious offspring. Arguments about the best food on Taiwan risk ruining relationships and lifelong friendships. Food is serious, is respected, is always excellent in Taiwan. 1. Braised pork rice. Where there's a sweep of smoke from the kitchen chimney, there will be lulo fan, braised pork with rice, goes the Taiwanese saying. The popularity of this humble dish cannot be overstated. Lulo fan is almost synonymous with Taiwanese food. The Taipei city government launched a Braised Pork Rice is Ours campaign last year after Michelin's Green Guide Taiwan claimed the dish was from Shandong province in mainland China. A good bowl of lulo fan comprises finely chopped, not quite moist, pork belly slow cooked in aromatic soy sauce with 5 spices. There should be an ample amount of fattiness, in which lies the magic. The meat is spooned over hot rice. A little sweet, a little salty, braised pork rice is comfort food perfected. 2. Beef noodle. You know the food is an obsession when it gets its own festival. Beef noodle soup inspires competitiveness and innovation in chefs. Everyone wants to claim the title of Beef Noodle King. From visiting New Baba for one of the most expensive bowls of beef noodle soup in the world, 10,000 US Taiwan NT dollars, or 334 US dollar, to a serendipitous foray into the first makeshift noodle shake you spot. It's almost impossible to have a bad beef noodle experience in Taiwan. Lindong Fan beef shakes with al dente noodles in herbal soup are a personal favorite. The street-side eatery secret weapon is the dollop of homemade chili butter added last. 3. Oyster omelette. Here's a snack that really showcases the fat of the land in Taiwan. You've got something from the sea and something from the soil. The eggs are the perfect foil for the little oyster easily found around the island, while sweet potato starch is added to give the whole thing a goosey chewiness, a signature Taiwan food texture. No wonder the soup was voted best snack to prevent Taiwan in a poll of 1,000 Taiwanese by Global Views Monthly a few years back. 4. Bubble tea. Bubble tea represents the QQ food texture that Taiwanese love. The phrase refers to something that is especially chewy, like the tapioca balls forming the bubbles in bubble tea. It's said this unusual drink was invented out of boredom. Lu Han Sheng threw some sweetened tapioca pudding into her iced tea on one fateful day in 1988, and a great Taiwanese culinary export was born. Variations on the theme include taro-flavored tea, jasmine tea, and coffee, served cold or hot. 5. Milkfish. How popular is milkfish in Taiwan? So popular that it has its own theme museum in Anping, and there's a milkfish cultural festival in Kaohsiung. The bony fish might pose a challenge for amateurs, but is loved for its tender meat and economical price tag. Milkfish is prepared in numerous ways. In a congee porridge, pan-fried as fishbowl soup or braised. For home-style preparation, retro izakaya style, restaurant James Kitchen serves pan-fried milkfish with lim. A bowl of Sanklian lard rice is a good complement. 6. Slack season danzai noodles. You've gotta love a piece called Slack season, and it should be one of the first pit stop on any culinary trip to Taiwan. The iconic eatery originated in Tainan about a century ago. A fisherman sold noodles during the slack fishing and season, and the joint became so successful he quit his original trade altogether. The signature bowl of slack season noodles is served in shrimp soup with beef sprouts, coriander, moistened pork, and fresh shrimps. The bowl of comforting flavors is so addictive that a man from China supposedly ate 18 bowls in a row at the restaurant. 7. Pan-fried bun. Like the fluffiness of cake and the crunchiness of potato chips, the pan-fried bun gives you the best of both worlds. The buns are made with spongy white Chinese bread that is pan-fried on the bottom. Break one open to reveal the moist porky filling. A Shanghai staple, the Taiwanese version differs in two ways. It's slightly bigger in size and it hits the pan upside down. 8. Guabao is a hamburger, Taiwan style. A steamed bun sandwiches a hearty filling of braised pork belly, pickled Chinese cabbage, and powdered peanuts. The filling is chopped into small pieces and mixed together so there's a bit of everything in every bite. Western hamburgers might benefit from the same treatment. Take a big mouthful and enjoy the salty, sour, and sweet flavors and the greasy pork swimming in your mouth. 9. Iron egg. It's called iron egg because it's so tough. These chewy little eggs dyed black from long braising in soy sauce, are a highly addictive Taiwanese food. Often made from quality eggs, the protein balls are cooked 4 hours in soy sauce, then air-dried. The process is repeated over several days until the snacks become tough and acquire the desired amount of chewiness. 10. Pineapple cake. This iconic Taiwanese pastry, mini pies filled with candied pineapple, is one of Taiwan's best food souvenirs. For one of the best pineapple cake experiences, try Sunny Hills, which use only local pineapples. The result is a darker filling, rougher texture, and a saucer taste. The pies at other shops are filled with a mix of pineapple and chewable bites of winter melon. They have a fruity sweetness and a golden casing of crumbly, buttery pastry. Stores that replace pineapple completely with winter melon to cut costs as committing a big no-no. 11. Tiembla. Tiembla refers to fish paste that been molded into various shapes and sizes, deep fried then boiled in the broth. Before eating, the pieces of soy fish paste are taken from the bowls and soon served in brown sauce. Doesn't sound like much, but timbla delivers plenty of sweet flavors and chewy textures, making it a beloved Taiwanese food. The food is basically a Taiwanese taken on Japanese oden, with more sugariness, tougher fish cakes, and a signature sauce. When you finish the bites of the fish cake, there's more to come. Get some soup from the vendor and add it to the remaining sauce in a bowl. Mix and drink the resulting flavor bomb. 12. Bawang. Bawang is a Taiwanese mega dumpling, made with a dust of rice flour, cornstarch, and sweet potato starch. It looks almost translucent after cooking. Pork, veggies, and sometimes eggs are stuffed inside and gravy poured on top. It's believed bawang was invented during times of scarcity. The simple pork dumpling became a luxury snack enjoyed only during the Lunar New Year festival. 13. Fried chicken. Taiwan deserves a special place in the Fried Chicken Hall of Fame. Not only has it made the giant fried chicken cutlet, No. 35 on the list, a cult classic, but its popcorn chicken is dangerously addictive. The chicken is chopped into bite-sized pieces, marinated, dipped in batter, and deep-fried. A generous sprinkling of salt and pepper complete the more rich morsel. It's an ubiquitous snack on the city street. 14. Frankie silicone pancake. There are few things more appetizing than the sight of a flaky silicone pancake being slowly torn apart. Add cheese and eggs filling to maximize the visuals. Devour this night-marking staple in a few bites to ensure it stays steaming hot and chewy. 15. Oyster vermicelli. A bowl of grey oyster vermicelli should have a thick, flavorful soup base, while the thin rice noodles and oyster retain their distinct texture. Some people add chopped intestine for a funky dimension to the soup. It's a gooey, sloppable dish with an intense, briny taste. 16. 60 tofu. This could be the world's premier love it or hate it snack, and Taiwan does it just right. The fragrant cube of bean curd is deep-fried and draped with sweet and spicy sauce. If you hold your nose, it looks and tastes just like a plain piece of fried tofu, with a crisp cracking and soft center like pudding. But what's the fun in eating that? Inhale deeply and relish the stench. The smellier, the better. 17th. Sweet potato. Leaving taste, smell, and nutritional value aside, the sweet potato stands out for one particular reason among Taiwanese food. It's shaped a bit like the island. Taiwan-grown sweet potatoes are added to soup with ginger, roasted by street vendors in oven converted from oil drum, ground to a flour and added to other dishes to give texture, or fried into sweet potato chips. As long as the beloved root vegetable is in it, Taiwanese love it. 18. Shaved ice mountains. One good thing about the hot, humid, and stormy Taiwan summers is the excuse to eat shaved ice mountain. The pile of shaved ice is heated up with fresh fruit and flavorings, such as mango pieces, juice, and sweet condensed milk. The result is super appealing just by looks alone. A more traditional taste uses freshly made mini rice bowl. 19. Pepper cakes. A must-try at Raohe Night Market. Pepper cakes are crispy pastry pockets filled with juicy pork that infused with the aromatic bites of black pepper. Baked on the wall of a clay oven, the pies are a delicious ode to the pepper plant. Eat more than one, or you'll only have to wait again in the long queue for more. 20. Dumplings at Din Tai Fung Dumpling House. 小笼包 may be a Shanghainese delicacy, but some argue the Taiwanese perfected it. Taiwanese restaurant Din Tai Fung does its Shanghai comrades proud with its succulent pork soup dumplings. Din Tai Fung's bite-sized 小笼包 has a consistently high quality. Their paper-thin wrapping hold rich hot broth and tender pork meatballs. Grabs can be heard intermittently at Din Tai Fung's as diners brave the scalding hot soup that squirts out upon biting the dumpling. 21. Fishbowl soup. What's better than fresh seafood? Bowls of fresh seafood, of course. Look for handmade fishbowl in Taiwan. They tend to have more air in the bowl, thus allowing more broth to soak up. They also have a broncher chew. 22. Rice stew in medicinal herbs. This is the Taiwanese version of bakut, the Chinese meat soup that's also popular in Singapore and Malaysia. In Taiwan, the soup is slow cooked in Chinese medicine, extracting the essence from pork bones and more than 14 nutritious herbs, roots, and dry fruits. It's yummy and it's good for you too, especially for keeping warm in winter. There isn't much meat on the lynx bone, but the point of the dish is the soup. Don't be shy to pick the bones up and suck the juice off. You might even be considered strange if you don't. 23. Goose. Geese, bred on Taiwan farms, are never wasted. From the skin to the blood, they are made into delicious dishes. Salted and smoked geese in Hawaii are revelatory. Every bite of the juicy goose meat with slightly smoked skin tastes like a pure celebration of poultry. Or you could try one of Bistro Le Pon's bowls of steamed rice topped with goose, chili oil, and XO sauce. The rice grains are an ideal vehicle for goose fat and flavor. 24. Ding Bian Cuo. Ding Bian Cuo is a bowl of slippery rice flour pasta. Rice flour batter is poured along the side of a huge heated wok, spreading along the hot metal and forming slices of rice flour noodle. When dry, the sheets are cut into smaller pieces that become very thin and very chewy noodles when cooked are style Ding Bian Cuo. Wu Jia Ding Bian Cuo is a century-old family business. Its Ding Bian Cuo is served with handmade pork cakes, shrimp cakes, cabbage, daylily, and bamboo shoots. 25. Taiwanese sausage with stinky rice. Taiwanese pork sausage alone is a superstar at night markets, but when served as a snack translated as little sausage inside big sausage, it's possibly unbeatable. It's like a hot dog, but instead of a bun, stinky rice is stuffed inside sausage casing to make an oversized rice sausage. That's then slit open to stuff in a pork sausage. So it's a little sausage inside the big one. Get it? 24. Mochi. These glutinous rice balls are soft as marshmallows and filled with sweet or salty things. The most traditional mochi are filled with red beans paste and rolled in peanut powder. But in recent years, strawberry jam, sesame paste, green tea jam, and peanut paste have become popular fillings. You can learn how to make mochi at the Royal Taiwan Mochi Museum, around US $5 per person. 27. Lantern soy sauce braised food. No matter what you choose from the Lantern Lu Wei food stall, it'll take on the taste of the signature 5-spice soy sauce. It's a little sweet, not too salty, and very aromatic with clovers, star anise, cinnamon, and other spices. Pick your preferred ingredients and the chef will cook it in a pot of special sauce. It's a perfect light meal before a big night out. You should expect to wait in lines as the chef never rushes. He takes his time to allow the food to be absorbed sauce. 28. Sun cakes. Originating in Taichung, the sun cake is just a flaky pastry filled with malt-loose. And yet this sweet nothing has come to represent Taichung City and is a souvenir sought out by visitors. Countless sun cake shops flourish in Taichung, all claiming to be the original store. But maybe it's time for them to shine. The genuine original sun cake store, Taiyang Bakery, closed down when the 68-year-old boss decided to retire. 29. Tubed rice pudding. Sticky rice and Chinese mushrooms are fried with seasoning and stuffed into a bamboo tube together with pork and eggs. The tube of rice is steamed again to further soften the texture until it becomes a cylindrical pudding. Da Chow To started making its rice pudding in a stall under a bridge more than 4 decades ago. The business has since expanded, but the rice pudding stayed the same. You should be sure to add the homemade turnip-laced sweet spice sauce to the tasty. 30. Taiwanese breakfast. These 3 elements to start a day right with Taiwanese food include sesame flatbread, deep-fried Chinese donuts, and soy milk. Blogger Joan H. from A Hungry Girl's Guide to Taipei says her favorite breakfast is from Fuhan. I love the thick sesame flatbread at Fuhan because it has a slight sweetness, a thin crispy layer, and soft center from coming straight out of the hot metal barrel. Many sesame flatbreads are dry and flaky, but Fuhan shows why there's often a half-hour wait there on the weekends. 31. Pig's blood rice pudding. This mix of pig's blood and sticky rice is stuck on the end of a stick like a lollipop. For the final Taiwanese touch, the pudding is coated in a sweet peanut powder. Basketball star Jeremy Show how named pig's blood rice cakes as one of his favorite snacks on his recent visit to Taiwan. If it's good enough for Lin, it's good enough for us. 32. 3-cup chicken. 3-cup chicken is cooked in a cup of rice wine, a cup of oil, and a cup of soy sauce. To this Taiwanese culinary triumvirate is added fresh basil, chilies, and garlic for an irresistible combination. Some kitchens have a different definition of 3-cup chicken, involving a cup of wine, a cup of sesame oil, and a cup of sugar. 33. Damsui age. Age comes from the Japanese aburage, which are deep-fried tofu pockets. Taiwanese age are stuffed with mung bean noodles and sealed often with fish paste. A typical sweet spicy sauce completes the snack. The tofu soaks up the soup is cooked in, so each bite bursts with bruise. Paired with the soy milk, the age makes a great savory breakfast. 34. Bantao. Bantao flat rice noodles has such a rapid flowing that many Taiwanese will drive a long distance in search of the most authentic bowl. The thick, flat, slippery noodles made from glutinous rice are part of the Hakka culinary tradition and best sampled in Kaohsiung Meinong district. Stir-fried bantao with pork has a rustic taste and texture. Many find the dish more comforting when served in hot food. 35. Hot Star Large Fried Chicken. According to a Taipei Times report of 2011, Taiwanese devour more than 250,000 fried chicken cutlets a day, piled atop each other. That would make a chicken cutlet tower 10 times as tall as Taipei 101, the island's tallest skyscraper at 508 meters. Go to Hot Star for the original oversized chicken cutlet. The enormous slice of meat, as big as your face, is very moist with a crispy crust, a generous coating of fine spice, starting as a small counter at Shilin Night Market. The Hot Star is now a Taiwanese food franchise present in Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore. 36. Anything with cuttlefish. Taiwan gets a lot of cuttlefish, and grill stations sparked with cuttlefish skewer can be found everywhere in the southern tip of the island. Although a thick cuttlefish soup with herbs and veggies is a typical Taiwanese winter warmer, one of the best ways to enjoy the mussels is fresh out of seawater, straight onto the charcoal grill. A smoky aroma, dark grill marks, glistening fillet fish edges, and dusting of salt and pepper make up the scene. 37. Yu jelly. Very wobbly and hardly tasting of anything. Yu jelly takes on the flavor of whatever it's eaten with. Add it to lemonade and shaved ice for a refreshing summer drink. The jelly gives the liquid a fun gloopy texture. 38. Pidan tofu. Black, white, and seemingly plain pidan tofu isn't a likely candidate for love at first bite fame, but after a few tries it becomes a minor addiction for many eaters. Pidan, or century eggs, is a duck egg preserved in clay with seasonings. With time, the egg white turns into a transsucculent black jelly, and the yolk developed a unique flavor. It's topped with sesame oil, vinegar, soy sauce, coriander, chopped spring onion, and sometimes pork floss. Mash it up and it's ready to eat. 39. Steamed spring roll. To describe it as the non-deep-fried version of a spring roll would be unfair, as runbing, steamed spring roll, was invented before the spring roll. Every Taiwanese household has its own recipe for runbing. During festivals, families gather at the table to have a runbing wrapping party. Each person chooses their own fillings from a buffet and rolls their own runbing. Besides serving delicious runbing, Shenye at Taipei 101 also offers an incomparable view of the city. 40. Spicy hot pot. Taiwanese are mad for spicy hot pot. And who wouldn't be? The bubbling pots of broths are filled with all sorts of Chinese herbs and spices to create a rich flavor for all the raw, fresh ingredients that diners will dip into it. Now, new hot pot places pop up in Taiwan every day, each with a gimmick to attract insatiable hot pot diners. There's all-you-can-eat hot pot and Yankinku served at the same table. There's bubble tea hot pot for the jade. But it's ordinary spicy hot pot with quality ingredients that stands the test of time. While Taiwan's spice levels don't come close to Zhongbing, they're pretty piquant. Had to perennial hot pot favorites and celeb magnets Tai Ho Deng for a glam Taiwanese hot pot experience. 41. Tiger strip chicken guabao. At many places, tiger strip chicken guabao can be thought of as Taiwan's answer to the Big Mac. At all new restaurant in Kaohsiung, however, the humble dish gets an upscale treatment. The restaurant uses pumpkin and edible bamboo charcoal powder to create a yellow and black strip bun, then fills it with deep-fried and braised chicken fillets in soy sauce and tomato sauce. The result is a sweet and sour flavor that's different from typical guabao. 42. Chicken wing rice roll. The chicken wing rice roll makes the impossible possible. Eating chicken fried rice in a night market with one hand. A boneless chicken wing is stuffed with fried rice and marinated in a heavenly combination of sesame oil and secret sauce. It's so good it started a chicken wrapped rice craze in Kaohsiung Rufeng night market, with various fillings such as kimchi fried rice and curry rice. 43. Giant pork bowl soup. The best pork bowl are made from fresh meat, hand ground, and pounded with a mallet until it attains a doughy texture. The giant pork bowl is dog soup from Taipei's Ningxia night market are as big as a baby's fist. The size, as well as the air holes pumped in the meatballs during the pounding, locks in an amazing amount of juicy and flavor. The Chinese name illustrates the experience of eating one vividly. The literary translation is bursting juice giant pork balls. Pork balls are sometimes mixed with ingredients such as Chinese mushrooms and cuttlefish to enrich texture and add flavor. 44. Wu Baochun bakery bread. Bread in Taiwan? Seriously? We heard you think, but this isn't just any bread we're talking about. It's from Wu Baochun, a world baking champion with many award-winning loaves to its name. The bread that won the international baking competition Coupe du Monde de la Boulangerie in 2010 is the bakery lychee rose bread. It's made with mullet wine, lychee, and rose petals. Wu Baochun also won the Louis Lassefer Cup in 2007 and a silver medal at the 2008 Bakery World Cup. Another signature of the store is wine Logan bread with smoked Logan, French wine, and California walnuts. 45. Biandong. A lot of Taiwanese have a love-hate relationship with Taiwanese biandong, bandong, the taken-away lunchbox that packs rice with a main dish, usually a Taiwan meat, and small, often unpeeled-sized dishes such as fried and preserved vegetables. It's convenient, quick, cheap, less than $3, and generally decent way to eat. Biendong isn't one of the most delicious food in Taiwan, but it's a staple for countless working parents and business urbanities. Biendong with chicken cutlets is a great biendong choice.